What is your current state of mind?
It's pretty good. I
Yeah.
feel really empowered, and it's interesting to come after years and years of doing this and being so young and almost overwhelmed by everything in fashion, and now to be here as a woman
Right.
and just feel empowered in who I am.
Have a totally different experience.
Yeah.
That's
and
nice.
my European friend told me, she's like, you know, in Europe, they don't really even consider you a woman until you're 40. I'm like, I like that
Sounds
philosophy.
good. What's your motto during Fashion Week?
You know, fashion is inspiring. It inspires us by contrast. It inspires us by creativity. So I just like to stay inspired.
And what's your obsession this week in particular?
Well, after seeing the girls at Crazy Horse last week, I'm so obsessed with their bodies and their movement, and I've started doing aerial, so now I have this whole idea that I want to do with this.
What's your best quality during Fashion Week?
I guess remaining solid in myself and kind of connecting with younger girls, because I've done this for so long and I know how in your head you can get, and I've somehow learned to overcome that. So I would say kind of being a big sister. And
Do they like ask you for advice and stuff, or you're more just like reassuring?
you know, sometimes I feel like, I know whenever I was younger, you can be intimidated, or maybe you don't even know if a girl wants to speak to you. So I go out of my way to introduce myself and
that's
say
so
hello.
nice.
And I met a girl, like, it's her first season, her first time to ever be in fashion, and she's from Detroit.
Amazing.
And it's just, that's really cool.
That is really cool. And what's your biggest weakness during the shows?
Packing a suitcase.
That's a good answer.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm trying to overcome this one, but the anxiety of like, what am I going to bring to wear?
Yeah.
But this time it actually was pretty smooth. I had a friend help me just bring me some looks and stuff. I was
Right.
like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to dig through my closet. So.
Totally. That's good. And what has turned you on creatively during the shows?
Well, I think it's really fashion is so subjective, you know, and there's people that are obsessed and become fashion victims, and then there's leaders. There's people that, you know, follow the beat to their own drum, and they're creators. And for me, I'm so inspired by this contrast and seeing it all. And I think that's what really like makes us decide what it is that we want in life, by seeing the contrast. So
Yeah. And what's turned you off creatively during the shows?
Oh, well, I think that would be this kind of bourgeois attitude, or this concept when people become so obsessed and think this is the center of the universe and lose that creative inspiration. Like, that turns me off.
And like perspective. Or
Yeah.
like, it's only fashion kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, fashion is a big deal. Fashion is the way that we behave, our style, the way that we make something. And that's what it should remain.
Right.
And not placing so much importance. Like, there's a huge materialism in it. And for me, that's not what it's about.
Right. And if you could change one thing about yourself during Fashion Week, what would it be?
Well, I've been working on that for years, and I think I'm getting there. You know, I used to definitely become insecure or get bothered by things that really don't matter.
Right.
And I've learned that our perspective and our perception of things is our reality. So now I focus on the things that I like and focus on the things that I love, and then my experience becomes pleasing.
That's a good answer. On what occasion do you lie during Fashion Week?
Lie?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, schedules can be very difficult, so I think there's probably a lot of lying going on one's behalf.
Right.
But I don't really like to lie. I'm pretty straightforward.
And what aspect of Fashion Week do you like?
I love coming here and connecting with the people that I've known for the last 15 years and you know, we only really get to see each other this time of year, but you've developed these long-term relationships. So getting to see where people are at, and Instagram's great for that as well, because you get to have like little sneak peeks of
I love your
people's life.
Instagram. It's so good.
Oh, thank you. It's not very fashion-y, is it?
No, but it's nice. It's like a sort of little window into your world.
Yeah. Well, that's my world. That's the center of my universe.
What's your greatest extravagance during Fashion Week? Are you an extravagant person?
I have my extravagant side. I know my partner would say that. I've always thought that I'm a pretty, like, down-to-earth girl, and I am. Like, I go from motorcycle boots and chicken coops and kids and cooking to this. And so perhaps I've developed certain tastes that are somewhat extravagant. I mean, I love champagne and caviar.
As we do, as we all do. Nice to be able to indulge whilst you're in Paris.
Exactly. So, you know, I think it's interesting to have this strange dichotomy or even contradictions in my life, because I would say overall I'm at home and living somewhat of a conscious lifestyle. I do yoga and, you know.
What are you wearing today?
I'm wearing
amazing,
this great designer, Barbara Bowie, who, you know, I'm really not reading fashion magazines and staying up to date on who's doing what, whereas I probably should.
Right.
But I read other things. So I come across new things, and I like her stuff.
Yeah, this is a nice little
Thank you.
situation going on. What is your signature look for the season?
If you want to know my signature look at home, I guess it's a good description of me. It's my motorcycle boots, but then I wear my Chanel cashmere pants that I've had for years and wear them constantly because they're comfortable and quite chic and warm. And like a big wool sweater. I like to be comfortable. When I come to Paris, I don't know. I think I can be kind of androgynous in a way. I mean, I'm very feminine, but I also have a very boyish side. And I like to stay comfortable.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It was fun riding around Paris.
Yeah, it's nice. Our minute Angela Lindvall.